Start recording.
Hello and welcome to another Near Running Cast. As always, my name is Johnny and I'm joined once again by Gerry. How you doing, Gerry?
Not too bad. It's exciting. This is not for the viewers, but for us, this is straight after a very different game. So
this is this game is different. So this is footage from the second Jank tournament that we ran in December, which has a very
Jank, the PC term, like the PC term.
Well, I don't know.
Alternative random IDs tournament, right? That's the...
Yes. Okay. Sure. This was a somewhat less competitive format. I should also mention
to play unused cards. Yeah.
I should also mention this video is sponsored by Patreon backer Guy, related. On the left hand side we have Gerry playing Chronos. On the right hand side we have Guy, who's a Patreon backer.
So thank you very much for that, guy.
Thank
He's
you.
a really nice guy.
He is
Apart from the fact he's associated to the Octopus.
Yes,
that's his only...
so this is worth mentioning, as we always should do. So Gerry, I don't know where Gerry's from, but I'd say he's Reading. He's local enough. He comes on Tuesday nights.
He's Reading player, yeah, sure. If he was to win a tournament, he would get the bell for Reading.
Sure.
That's all that matters.
And Guy's from Oxford, and happily identifies as so I guess this is one of those classic Redox matchups.
It is a Redox matchup for sure.
So I guess while we see these guys go through their early motions, we should explain a little bit about the format. So the format is you get given a random ID, you get assigned a random ID.
Before the day.
Long before the day, yeah.
On the forums.
And for this tournament, unlike the previous one, this tournament excluded the 5 most popular IDs on each side. So guaranteed the kind of, what's the opposite of creme de la creme? The bad de la bad of the ID choice.
So you took out like NEH, Noise and Kate. And
that kind of stuff, yeah.
None of them on the whole day, there wasn't a single one.
Yes, and additionally there are bonus wins available for most interesting decks as decided by your opponents. So the results did matter to some extent, but a lot of wins came from, a lot of prestige points came from having a really terrible deck idea. So it encouraged this.
Yeah. So you encourage on the day not just to build the best deck you can with the ID that you're given, but also to try out some new, new ideas. Or if you had a really terrible ID, you could just probably bring the best deck with the ID.
You could bring a good deck with a bad ID.
Yeah, you can do whatever you like, but it's definitely encouraged to. You're not going to be playing NEH Kate all day, so you can experiment a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So
I've missed them both.
You didn't get it. Right. These, I've got to say, these are some of the most fun days in Network
Really?
I've had. They're great fun. Yeah. I don't really know what to set up. Well, let's talk about Chronos Protocol. So, Chronos Protocol's ability, of course, is that the first net damage that the Corp does each turn, they get to choose the card that's lost from the runner's hand. So that'd be quite interesting.
So I have a Chronos Protocol deck which only has sentries in it, and you go after the Mimic.
Oh, the Mimic, that's a good idea, yeah, because
Go after the Mimic, Chronos Project.
And I bet it's got Batty in it, because I know you. Yeah, okay, so sure, that gets pretty hard to deal with. We've seen, we know there's a swordsman on HQ, because we saw it earlier.
Okay.
We had a turn 1 celebrity gift, so we saw the hand, yeah. So we saw there was a swordsman. There's also 2 Neurillian Ps, might be relevant.
Yeah, we knew.
Yep. So we know the swordsman's on HQ, so that might suggest a reluctance to run. Now, Wormhole's a really interesting splash.
Is this a Trick of Light Chronos Project net damage deck? What did that even...
So, Trick of Light and Space Ice is a thing, so I guess that could be the direction he's going for. I mean, I guess we'll see as the game develops.
Also, Space Ice is strong when it's rest. I mean, it does damage. If he's going after breakers, then let's hope the face down thing's installable.
That's right, yeah. Ken, meanwhile, doesn't have much going on, although he does have a public terminal, which is Ken's prepaid, so that's quite good. It means it pays for run events.
Yeah, it's got Baby.
Baby's good for draw and money. Don't forget as well that obviously Ken's ability pays him a credit for playing players.
But not on the remote.
Yeah, so we're going to see...
It's still advance.
So we're going to get an install of this ice and a double advance. Not really a bluff there.
We know it's a wormhole.
Yeah. We're pretty sure it's a wormhole.
I wasn't paying attention. Which one's wormhole?
So wormhole's the code gate that resolves the subroutine on another piece of ice.
Right.
So at the moment, it will only fire crick.
Yeah.
Sure. But
that's it's a 7 strength code gate, right?
Let's say you res a piece of ice that does net damage. Suddenly it does net damage.
Which
might be relevant. The trash the program might be relevant. Yeah. So it's quite interesting. It's kind of a... Thank you, Gerry, for showing your hand to the camera. It's kind of a... I mean, I like the Space Ice in theory, but there's a there's the economy of you pay up front to make it cheaper for res. I've been playing with a bit of Space Ice recently.
But you pay up front, like you pay up front with clicks more than anything.
Yeah.
But they are super efficient.
So he's going to walk through a Sansan, and we're going to see, right, so let's see, he can see an inside job, in fact 2 inside jobs, a baby and 2 planned assaults, the glare on Guy's glossy sleeves. He hit an inside job.
Oh, planned
Fair,
assault.
if he's thinking of rushing. I mean, planned assault will get a siphon, I guess,
Siphon,
but
yeah.
we're going to see a batty, which he
Batty,
trashes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the best place to access a batty. So he's a neural MP, okay. He's going to see a Hogside Grid. Now that's a good question.
4 credits, that's a lot.
It's 4 credits to trash.
So it does 1 net damage
it's an
every
upgrade.
successful run?
Yeah, on that server, it's an upgrade. So he does trash it. Probably reasonable. This is the other thing about Jank. Jank tournaments.
Money in hand, though.
Is when you face NEH, you know what the decisions you're going to make are before you have to make them. You access the card and you say, oh, well, if I access that card, I do this. You access Hogside Grid against Chronos Protocol. It's something you got to think, and it uses the brain a lot more.
It turns into a money thing. Like, he obviously wants this card, it's in the deck. It costs 4, I have 10. Can I afford to do this?
I mean, you could wait until it's trashed and res until you trash it, but then it's firing, but I don't know, maybe you're not that bothered.
1
it's tough to
damage,
say.
but 1 damage from Chronos Protocol is very different than 1 damage from PE or something. So.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, because it can hit your good stuff. So this is the other thing that Gerry knows, is that Guy has no breakers, but he does have inside job. So by hitting the inside job, I guess he was prepping for a kind of rush.
He's breaking out.
Yeah, so his breakers at the moment are Passport and Breach, so he can get into centrals. But if Gerry wants to score an agenda,
he can rush right now quite happily.
But he needs to do another net to kill the other inside job.
Sure.
So, and that's the beauty of Chronos Protocol. I mean, it can hit a card, great, but it also tells you
Sees the hand,
what the runner's got. So
if he could rush out a House of Knives now, that would be huge.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's true.
House of Knives, 3 targeted net damages. Wow.
He might be able to sneak it out. Maybe that's what it is.
So yeah, he needs to
Check
get
the remote.
He needs to get an end the run ice on the inside of any piece of ice on a remote, and then he should be able to score.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he continues to advance ice. So the wormhole on R&D does have 3 advancements. This new one on HQ only has 2. So assuming it's another fairly straightforward piece of space ice, it would be 3 to res at this point, because they're all the same.
It's going to complete. Is he going to
Best
complete the central only breakers? Or
Yeah,
is he going
I guess it's an alias. It'll break the. He's an alias.
It's an alias, so he has
break
all
the swordsman.
So if I remember correctly,
he's got all the central breakers.
Passport's not so bad. The other ones not so.
Passport's quite good.
Yeah, especially for
alias is all right because it's a
sentry breaker.
The sentries,
Any
it's not great. But breach is not very good, I think. Yeah.
Is that the barrier?
Yeah, it's the barrier one. Yeah.
So yeah, normally you would just play Corroder and ignore it.
Yeah,
so,
you may well do. Yeah.
Sure.
But we haven't seen any influence yet from Guy, so it'd be interesting to see what his influence is being spent on. I mean, I've got a good idea what it's being spent on.
I don't.
Well,
it's not on breakers.
We mentioned in the previous video that he's got Escher.
Right.
Escher's 5 influence.
Right.
So if you're gonna do this nonsense, it's gonna cost you quite a lot of influence.
He spent all of his. And how many influences? Ken's got 17, right?
Ken does have 17.
Yeah, wow, that's
right. 3 Escher and one I've had worse.
Or a Corroder.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what splashes are, but he may not have 3. I assume he doesn't have 3. Actually, he probably have 2 or 1 even. I mean, same old thing. Planned assault. Like these are cards. So
yeah, same old thing is much less influence.
I mean, run events for criminals are like programs for shapers.
Yeah.
Kind of only need 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is he gonna? He's got a double ice if that's in general, right?
He has to worry about the inside job, or he could neural MP. That's as good as installing a second piece of ice. Instead,
or he could be baiting the inside job.
Could be a bait. Could be another Jackson. Snare. Hogside Grid. Batty. Any of these great cards.
So I'm assuming Hogside Grid. You can say, would you like to jack out? They can say no. You have a res window for Hogside Grid and then take a net damage? Or does that have to be res net?
You can res the Hogside Grid after they commit to access, and it still fires. It's like an Ash.
Yeah, sure.
So it's House of Knives he was trying to sneak out. But he knew there was an inside job, so that was an interesting. Maybe play Neural to try and hit the inside job, or you install
any
second
ice,
piece of
like
ice.
a pup or whatever on the outside.
I might have played the Neural there. I don't know. Maybe he didn't mind it being taken.
Yeah, sure. But House of Knives is a very important gender.
House of Knives is a good one for Chronos, of course, because it gives you 3 net damage. So he's going to res mental health.
Increasing his hand size, more options for what to take.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know. That's an interesting synergy, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
If you're not going to kill them, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it's that, and that is relevant. It's fair to say that Chronos Protocol isn't necessarily trying to kill. So I've had worse as a good card
Yeah, that's not going to get
because it's
chosen.
never going to get hit.
Yeah.
You're probably not trying to kill the runner
No.
so much as restrict their options and rush out, unless there's large net options.
Why would he forge that?
I guess he might have thought it was space ice.
Sure.
He might have tried to force like a 9 credit.
Don't forge
res.
a wormhole right now.
Yeah, he's not going to play on the other stuff. So it's Enigma. He also knows what it is. He also knows he can't get in there with his current rig.
Yeah.
So inside jobs only. He does have same old things, so he can same old inside job, assuming nothing else.
So when Gerry didn't res that last time, though, it was inside job, right?
Yes, we could have resed it.
Yeah. Oh, he could have resed it.
He could have resed
not
it, but it would be
but it would have
bypassed.
done nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It would have had an effect.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I guess you. Yeah. I guess you still do. I don't know.
Upgrade and R&D.
It's all on R&D, so I'm guessing Batty or Hoxar, because they're the upgrades
They're the
we've
two we've
seen.
seen.
Yeah.
And that seems enough.
I mean, I'm guessing he's not got others. I mean, for all we know, it's. I can't think of anything else. Could be a Tori Hanzo or something. That'd be pretty good, right?
What he needs right now is a Siphon, because he can't...
Yeah.
If those have got 3 advancements on them, they're free to res. He's on 5 credits.
Yeah, but he might not be able to break that first thing. He's got well, 6 credits maybe. He probably can. He can take the net. He can walk through the swordsman. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
Siphon. He gains a credit when he plays the Siphon.
So it's all bank jaw instead. Now that'll do some good work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is click 4, so.
Maybe he didn't want to get it hit from neural. No.
Yeah,
No,
well,
no,
that's relevant.
Neural, he didn't run. You need to run.
That's true. Yeah, he didn't run. He just drew a bunch of cards. Maybe you install it and then run next turn. I don't know, but he also might want to just keep it. I mean, as the Corp hero, are you really going to ice that mental health? You're not really. Yeah.
I mean, if he does now, that's probably guys.
He's still 6 credits. Yeah, I don't know. And he can. Well, he can't break it actually. Is that a job? No, it's terrible. Okay, so he's going to install on the remote. And he's going to advance. Yeah.
There's a lot of space ice in his deck, isn't there? Is he running like 9 space ice?
But I guess maybe they're not all space ice.
What are they influence wise?
I think they're 2 each.
2 each.
I don't know
think
about
that's
Orion.
right.
That's the big
3.
one. Yeah, I think the others are 2 each.
Wormhole's
I think,
definitely
off the top
2
of my
because
head.
I splashed it in other decks because it's
Okay.
a really good piece of ice.
I actually don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's 2.
7 strength code gate. Even if you just ignore the advanced thing, it's 9 for 7 strength code gate is pretty strong anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, but there could be Woodcutter. Wait, does that have to be res? That's one of the bad ones. It has to be red, right?
Woodcutter's one of those has to be res.
Okay, so not Woodcutter. Okay, so we can see Wormhole on HQ. Okay, so currently that could fire and end the run.
Or lose a click.
Or net damage.
Crush an
Or
AI.
crick. It could do a crick, yeah.
Do crick, yeah. And
I mean, there's nothing.
No, he's
there's a
Jackson,
batty
yeah,
in the bin.
back the Hawks like
You can fire the cricks to put batty on HQ. Oh, now the Jank comes out.
to fire it for
Anyway.
a chance to fire Wormhole to fire crick again to get Batty back again.
Yeah, irrelevant because he broke it. Yeah.
Like,
And then Alias is going to break Swordsman, or is it? He's going to have a think. So in fact, he starts to snake the net and just walk through Swordsman. So let's see. This time we have 2 planned assault, 2 I've had worse. Probably don't pick those. A breach and a special order. So he goes for the breach. Interesting. That is an interesting choice because he has a breach on the table.
at least he's got power shutdown there.
Maybe. Don't know. He's going to access Neural. Jackson. Which
6 credits.
I guess
leave
he'd
it.
leave.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Batty.
Batty, trash that. That's an auto trash.
Death
Yeah,
with
good.
fire.
So that's not too bad. He might have wanted an agenda.
Yeah, probably.
They've not
You do
been
need
coming
them.
out.
They
yeah,
are good.
You do need them to
Yeah.
win the game. They've not been coming out, obviously. So
Yeah, they're all in there. So we get to see the full flavour of both decks because the agendas are hiding. So
that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Jank always
Yeah.
works better when the agendas don't come.
Yeah,
'Cause
when-
otherwise the game's over. You're like, but I had these cards and this was going to happen. It's like, yeah, but the agendas came and then someone
Yeah,
won.
that's true.
So,
So we can get installed in the remote. Very
if that is an
mysterious,
agenda, then
and the 3rd advancement on that
Lucky
piece of
Gerry.
ice. So that's going to get res for nothing, presumably.
emergency shutdown not going to do work in this game, is it? Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, unless you have some way of.
Removing the counters.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could.
need to
Parasite
trust
would be
the
good,
ice. You
but
trust the ice, yeah.
so we've seen 2 I've had
Really
worse.
bad.
So does that explain that's some of the influence? By the way, that's 4
Yeah,
influence
okay.
right there.
Sure. So no 3 Eschers. Oh,
So
guy.
I mean, I've had worse. Is a good if he's expecting some murder, which he might well be. You don't know what to expect, right? I remember for my deck on the day, I packed all kinds of
Crazy.
like all kinds of special silver
Tech,
bullets.
yeah.
Like yeah, I mean I had currents and all kinds of things because I had no idea what I was going to face, just in case I had to, you know. Okay, so it's just Jackson. All right,
He's trying to bait the run.
He did try and bait the run. It would have had to be something he'd drawn that turn probably, unless he had it in hand anyway. We saw a legwork. Probably a reasonable call not to run it, but we're going to see some draws on a hedge. So, who's on top in this game? I mean, guy's literally winning score-wise,
On
but
1 point.
But I feel like Gerry is slowly building up the glacier. I mean, there's ice kicking around.
Yeah,
Guy's got breakers for centrals, but the remote is really good.
I know he's winning. I think if Gerry sees an agenda now, he can score it. Like I don't see how.
I think if you draw an agenda, you just put it straight in.
But I don't know what Jerry's plan is. Like he must have a plan for what his Chronos is going to aim for.
I mean,
And
maybe
if
the
it's
plan
breakers,
is
he's got a
cheap.
full breaker suite out.
Maybe the plan is like cheap ice to res.
But like, what is he aiming to hit with his Chronos? Like?
Just whatever happens to the remote. I don't know. Code gates maybe. Maybe that's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to see this is a recon run on R&D. So he's going to res Nebula for free. Now this is quite interesting. He also wants to res a Batty. Right. The timing of this.
Yeah,
is,
I'm very very aware.
Yeah,
He
that-
needs to res it with the
yeah.
Nebula.
But no, it's a recon run. That's the important thing. Now recon run means you can jack out when you encounter the first piece of ice. But he can fire the Batty
He can
before
res.
that
He can
happens.
res fire.
Yeah. So he can res both and fire the Batty immediately.
Yeah.
And
Just before encounter.
And even if the Batty game happens, fine, but he can still jack out before hitting the ice. And
I wouldn't res the Batty during the recon one. Because the whole great thing about Batty Nebula or Batty any,
is you get 2 trashes for
you
one.
get 2 trashes, but he'll only get 1.
It's true. So, I mean, I guess you need to decide what you think he's going to do. If he's going to recon and he's going to hit that, and you think he's going to jack out, then I guess you don't bother resing Batty. But also it's a way of guaranteeing a trash, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose he's going to hit the Batty if he gets to the end of the thing anyway.
Yeah, he'll access
So he
it.
loses his other.
I mean, but before he accesses it, he can res it and fire it. Often the fact. But he's going to get a trash. So he
Recon
trashed.
fires.
Yeah. So he did trash the Alias, and then Recon lets him jack out,
And
which
Alias,
is wise.
And Alias is the one he picked with Chronos earlier. So there's now 2 Alias in the bin.
No, Breach was the one he picked earlier.
Right. It looks like there's 2.
But there isn't. Yeah, he also has overdrawn and thrown
discarded
away some
one.
copies.
Oh,
He's thrown
no.
away some copies of stuff. Yeah.
So
I hope he's got a levy. He
hope
may
he's
well
got-
have a levy. He's got 2 same on things, so if he gets a levy, even if he gets hit, he's okay.
I just hope he's got a way of getting a Sentry Breaker back.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
Because even if he's got a Mimic in the deck or something, it's not going to help with the Nebula when it's 5 strength.
I mean, I like also that it looks like he has literally no way of breaking remote ice.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have one of the Crypsis. I don't know, like for an emergency, for a rainy day. But I feel like his plan to get into remotes is to pull out his tricks. I'm going to see installing the remote. It's got to be an agenda, right? It has to be. I'm increasingly sure it's an agenda.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Advance that thing, okay.
If it's another House of Knives, it's definitely the thing Jerry needs most.
So you could run this. Well, you can't run the remote anyway because you can't beat Enigma, so there's no point. But you could res that. I wonder if there's any way of forcing the res on that thing that's only got 1 advancement, because it's probably 6 to res.
Yeah.
Which means that you can force.
But it could trash a program, and then
It could do bad
that's,
stuff.
Yeah, that's just.
I guess that's-
In fact, if it's Wormhole or Nebula, it'll trash a
I
program.
mean, forged. I guess at this point
Yeah.
would be good.
He'll probably let it trash for Forge because he's only got 8 credits. So.
Yeah. I guess
But
you
if
don't
he
bother
inside
resing
jobs,
it.
no, because he'll res the second thing only, and then inside
Yeah,
jobs is useless.
yeah. I mean, you only need to res one of them, and one of them is probably free. So
He's
he needs a way of breaking that Enigma. So he does inside job the remote.
yeah, the second he'll just no res and then lose a pick off.
He can jack out before he hits the Enigma, of course, if something is res. But yeah. But I agree. I'm not sure about this.
How that's going to work.
Yeah, I think he needs to find whatever his solution is to an Enigma on a remote. Yeah. So he's going to bypass the Nebula and then jack out before hitting the Enigma. Obviously, because he can't break it.
I don't know how he saw anything else happening there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he was hoping to force a res on that outside thing, but I do agree. It's called Chronos Project. Punishing. Yeah. And those similar things are quite useless.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's 1-1. But who's on top, Gerry?
Now, Gerry.
It's
Gerry
core,
sure.
right?
Yeah, because of the alien. Because there's no way he can't break sentries.
He can't get in that remote, so
he can't get in the remote, and he can't even get into R&D now.
I think you draw for your remote solution, whatever it is.
Yeah, and well, unless he runs like, I'm just really worried about what his other sentry option is now. I'm like, if he doesn't have another sentry breaker in his deck,
he might have a third alias.
He might have a third alias. There's a chance he can't break sentries for the rest of the game.
It's possible. Yeah, it is possible.
It costs you a program every time you want to get into R&D at the minute.
I mean, that's not terrible. If the thing behind it doesn't end the run,
the inside one is also
can win.
Yeah, is also a trashy program. You're
it's bad when you've got 1 point.
Yeah,
it's not that bad when you've got 6 points because somewhere makers, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, all right. So we're going to continue to advance the outside piece of ice, of course, because that's what we do.
I don't think he needs to do that.
I feel like he really wanted to play.
Pretty sure the remote save.
Yeah, I feel like we really wanted to play because we built it, and the
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune gave him Chronos
Gerry
Protocol.
was like, give me, because I built it, come on, and then you span the wheel and you gave him Chronos.
He got Chronos,
and
he said, my dreams will continue.
Anyway.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, I'm assuming there's Trick of Lights in this deck.
He must be running Trick of Lights.
Yeah.
In faction, he's advanced. The thing that you don't want to
must have 3
in faction is the advanced lights. But he's done all the investment now.
He's gone out of faction.
He's got 3-for-1s coming up the wazoo because we've seen loads of them. So he must have Trick of Lights.
Okay, all right.
He hasn't got 3 Trick of Lights. Gerry put 3 Trick of Lights in there.
In this terrible deck that you'll never
probably
play again.
don't play anymore, but you should. Special order, so he's discarded.
He's been special order, but he can same old thing it now. So
no, I think he's been a special order because there's no breakers left in his deck,
or they're in his hand, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
the optimist.
It does only get icebreakers.
Yeah.
That's alright, but guys not giving up. Okay, so we've got a sword and an advance. So I wonder what that is. Could be Nisei. I feel like we're thinking too professionally.
NAPD. It's like he's still got to run agendas, right? And there's only so many.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's running Future Perfect.
Medical Breakthrough, that might be a good one if you're doing the fast ones thing.
Yeah, Medical Breakthrough or
Oh, I hope it's that.
Yeah, Medical Breakthrough.
It's more janky than Nisei. Yeah. So at any rate, I expect Guy's not going to get it. He's going to struggle.
Yeah.
He's doing some maths about how much it costs him to get into various centrals. As you say, R&D is program, not great.
Yeah.
He can get to HQ for like 7, I think. I think it was 7 with Wormhole. To break Wormhole with Passport.
Siphon's a good show. That's the only run that I see being made this turn.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. What about Escher, Gerry?
Of course, I keep forgetting Escher's a thing. So
he may not have it.
But what would you
it's
do?
in his deck.
Well, you'd move Crick off the bin and put one of the Nebulas on there, probably. Swordsman on the.
He's got no way of getting the remote currently because there's no. Hilariously, the only duplicate piece of ice on the table is Nebula, which can't break. So you obviously cannot run through a Nebula and then use Copycat because they'll trash the Copycat.
So he has Copycat in his deck.
Oh yeah, it's got Copycat.
Yeah,
so
right.
That's the trick, right?
Right,
or
Escher-Copycat.
Or the alternative is you just line up. I don't know, Swordsman and Nebula on the remote, and then you just run through it and
if you just
don't care.
But
if you've got Copycat, I guess you do something else.
Because he can't, because even if it's the wormhole there, he can't get through because he hasn't got central owners. Yeah, no. I don't know. He must have a way of breaking ice.
Okay.
So he's just relying on Copycat.
He's going to plan to solve.
Only break you every
Okay, so he's no, it's an Escher. He's holding an Escher, but he realises he's about to run through net damage, so he decides Chronos, he should install the Copycat first. Quite wise, I think. So he installs the Copycat and then plans assaults for the
Gerry's
Escher.
reading the Copycat.
He's like, wait, what does this card do? Wait, what does that card do?
And you can now tell me what it does.
Okay, so right, let's explain. Escher is a 3 credit 5 shaper event that runs HQ on a successful run. You can rearrange the corpse ice however you wish, following the requirement of that. There will be the same number of ice on each server as before you do it. And then Copycat says that when you make a run, when you pass a piece of ice, you can move to having behind a copy of that piece of ice on your board.
Yeah.
So what you do is
like
you
you
get
pass through
Escher.
a window and come out somewhere else.
So let's say there was another Enigma res. There isn't. You could Escher to put the other Enigma that isn't in the remote on the outside of R&D or whatever archives, and then you run it, break it with passport because you can break it easily enough, and then you Copycat over to behind it, and then you're in the remote.
So he needs to put. So Wormhole's his gate for a minute.
No, it's not. The only duplicate ice is Sentry. Is Nebula. Sorry, it's
There's not
Sentry.
2 Wormholes.
No, there is no way of doing it currently without knowing what's unrest. There is no way of doing this, so I'm not sure what he's going for. I think what you possibly do is you stick. I think there's a solution there. I think you put like one of these unres things on the
It's
back.
like a super sneak door, isn't it? So now he can run, lose a program, but come out immediately.
Well, no, but the program he'll lose is the Copycat.
Right.
So he can't use it. There is no way to do this currently.
Right, okay.
Without one of those things being rezzed, and if
being
you're
a wormhole.
Yeah, and if you're Gerry, why would you res it? To let him Copycat. Yeah, he's going to struggle, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. The intent was there.
Yes,
but
I
he's
think
gone too soon.
I think he literally cannot do it with this turn. Without these things being rezzed. So I think he just had.
He's realising that now.
Yeah.
That he can't do it.
I think, unfortunately, he had to let this agenda go.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
I like what he's gone for. It's nice. He can also same old Escher, so it's no big deal. Like, he can come back next turn. It's fine. The most important thing is he's not locked out of HQ because that's his key to victory. Is he needs to be able to make successful runs in HQ.
If I mean, I don't know. Guy knows I don't know whether he can actually break sentries. If he can't break sentries anymore, he needs to make sure he puts the wormhole on the inside of the scoring remote and one of the other wormholes.
Yeah,
outside
so
of the remote.
for instance, here are some great things you could do. You could put Enigma on a central and Wormhole on the remote. If just because Enigma's way cheaper to break than Wormhole,
and you
like,
can break
if
it,
just that, yeah.
But also, he needs the wormhole on like archives.
You can even put the
and
crick.
put one of the advanced things that isn't res on the inside of the room. No.
So what if you put Crick Enigma on HQ, for instance?
Yeah.
That'd be super cheap to break the passport. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then, you could leave a wormhole on the inside of the remote. And then
and
that's your
then
path to success.
Yeah,
Wait
he's
for
got
the
to get him
Escher.
to res another
And you just
wormhole.
ignore the other servers. Having said that, I think he kind of also would half like to actually run an R&D, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's probably a bit whatever about archives.
I can't remember what.
Anyway,
But also, the swords. He's running through the swordsman, right? So you can put that on the remote just as a. I'll run through it if I need to.
right. So anyway, let's summarise what happened. So one of the unread pieces of ice moved from R&D to archives. The crick moved to R&D from archives. So that's good. That's a good thing to do. Okay, we're going to run archives, R&D now, and we're going to see that the unread thing that was there, I think it was on archives, if that's how it works.
Break it.
He can break, it was an asteroid belt, that's the barrier. Space Ice those watching at home, which he can break with breach. Passport now breaks crick fairly cheaply. He's going to access a mystery card because I can see what it was.
I think he bounces there. Like once it's res, you're like, great, I've got another window for my copycat.
So if you're Gerry
You don't have to
now,
actually pay to get
do
it.
you
Well, we get credit on
score the agenda? Or maybe you Ice HQ. I mean, it's an option. It could be a 3-1 as well.
He still
or
hasn't
3-2.
got more than one of a type of thing res that isn't a sentry, right? So he's still probably okay.
Yeah, there's no duplicates. Okay, so he instead advances the remote and doesn't score it. So it's got 4 on it. So what is it? Is it Fetal? Is it Future Perfect?
Fetal, future perfect. There's the 6 for 4.
I think Fetal's more...
Fetal's more likely.
Oh, Vanity. This is
Yeah.
before Vanity, I think. Yeah, I think so. This is... so it could be a Fetal. There's obviously a net damage thing going on. Maybe he was trying to bait a run, and he just wants
It
to
was-
continue to bait the
yeah.
run. Future Perfect, I feel like you install double advance. And maybe he's just really confident. I mean, it could be a Brain Trust or something. I mean, that kind of combos with Space Ice? Not really.
so
Makes stuff
confused
cheaper.
right
Yeah.
Like in every sense, like yeah.
Okay.
They're like, so what do you think that is in that remote, Joey? And I'm like, normally
No
I'm like,
idea.
I think it's this.
Yeah.
No, I actually have no idea. I don't even know what's happening. It's a trap. Like maybe
Could be a
it's
trap.
maybe it's
Ronin. Maybe it's a
yeah,
Ronin or something.
Ronin. That's
Ronin's
actually-
Ronin's a good
correct.
one for Chronos, so it could be that.
It's not.
It's not. It's PB. Okay. All right. So he scores it. Sure. So he was hoping that Gerry was going to find a way to get in. Gerry, for reasons it turns out benefit him, couldn't get in and suffer the damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gerry's on 3 points now, but there's another very real threat appearing, which is that Guy's deck is kind of vanishing. He lost a lot of it to that Chronos. He can't draw forever, and if he doesn't have a levy, which you haven't seen, and there may be no influence for.
Oh, so Forge actually. So
that's my Forge. So now Wormhole's the thing. Okay, right, this is it.
Yeah.
Path to victory.
So that's, as I said, he should have put the other wormhole on the inside of the scoring remote.
So that's why Forge gives you copycat targets. Okay, I get it.
Gerry made a mistake. Gerry should have trashed that.
You're a genius. I'm going to say resing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a good call. Yeah. He shouldn't. Yeah, he should have trashed
the
it.
The idea of a free 9 for 7 code gate was just too much to pass up. But he should have trashed it.
You're right. Gerry should have trashed
it.
Yeah, he should have realised that the fact that he has only unique ice on the table is really helping him out.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
That resing that wormhole may have. I say lost in the game. I don't think it's done that because.
I think he's in a good position.
All
but
it
you're
takes
right,
is another
you're right.
batty to trash anything.
I think the better choice there was trash.
Let it go. Yeah.
Which is crazy. After
crazy.
4 clicks of investment. Yeah, okay, alright. Oh, Neural. Oh, that's what we're going to get. Okay, now it's not going to be a kill, but we're going to see what he's got. Okay, so he can see an I've had worse, a Katie Jones, a Makers, and a Copycat. He could make him draw his deck out. That's quite funny. He hits the Copycat.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
So if he hits the other Copycat with a batty or whatever, then that's.
I mean, there was also a Makers. That's a good card that you could kill. I like the I've had worse there. I like because I think there's no more than 3 cards in his deck. You can say that you're never going to draw a card again. Like that's pretty fun. Yeah, he may play it, of course. I think that the kill is definitely a thing here. He might also worry there's a levy, so he'd help him draw a levy, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's it. Maybe he played it trying to hit a levy. If he thought there was a levy in hand, maybe he'd play it.
Things there though. So.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I wouldn't. I doubt there's a levy.
There's also,
I wouldn't play it.
I think there is not a levy because he's got
why would you play
at least 1 Escher. It may only be 1 Escher. He's got, I think that's 3 I've had worse now. I'm not sure what the influence we've seen actually. Might be it.
So this time, even though he knows he can get in now, he's choosing not to because he could same old thing Escher.
He could same old Escher, yes.
Yeah, he could get in whenever he likes, but he's actually taking his time. I think he just went a little bit early first time.
There's 2 cards in the remote now though.
Hogside Grid or Batty.
Well, yeah, what was Batty?
Batty will do nothing. Oh no, it will. He can still fire it because there's any ice on this server.
Yeah,
isn't it?
he can end the run.
So
or if he leaves a net damage one there.
You can still.
I guess do you take all the end the runs off that remote? But there'll probably be a wormhole.
Well,
right?
Nebula would still be a problem because the wormhole stops being a gateway if you.
Yeah, I don't think there's any subs you can leave on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna struggle.
No, yeah. So there's definitely still a window for Batty even if you copycat because you res it at 4.3 and then you fire it and then you got access to the whole server's worth of subroutines. So.
Yes, and there's not 3 ice worth of stuff you could put there.
Yeah.
You could just put all net damage on there and not care. You can only do 1.
It's like
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna struggle.
Yeah, he is gonna struggle. I love the idea, but then this part of me is just thinking like, well, why don't you sort of copycat out for a breaker, and then get in the normal way?
Imagine if copycat was Crypsis.
Yeah, Crypsis.
I mean,
more
that'd be
universally
fine.
useful.
No, but it's Jank, Gerry. This
I know.
is the heart of Jank.
I do like. I understand the Forge now. I really like the Forge. I think that's a great idea. That you make them res it. Did he 3 advanced or 2 advanced though?
Which one? Oh, that is 2
right,
advanced.
2
That is
advanced.
2 advanced, yeah.
So it could be another fetal. It's like worst case for Guy if he gets in there.
Yeah,
Could be
or Future Perfect. I mean, it probably doesn't matter at this point.
He's gonna go for it. He's gonna get in.
He's thinking about it.
We know he can get in.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, it was advanced 3 times. It was their last turn, so it's been advanced 3 times.
Right.
So does that mean it's not Future Perfect?
But he advanced the fetal once and then 3 more times to get to 4 and then 1. So it could literally be anything.
So then what's going on?
Could be a brain trust. You never know.
Could be a Junebug.
Yeah. Could be
Could
Junebug.
always be a Junebug.
If he same old thing levies and then copycats through a wormhole to get to a Junebug.
Yeah, if you actually copycat into a Junebug and
he
die.
sponsored this video as well. That's just mean.
Yeah. But
No, I think it's Engender.
Okay. So we're gonna get a passport on the wormhole. Okay. So it is same old Escher. So he's going to pay. He's going to YOLO through the Swordsman. Okay. So the new cards here are a Diesel and a Sure Gamble.
By Maker's Eye.
Kills Maker's Eye. That seems pretty reasonable.
Right.
So now we're going to do some Escher.
Wormhole on the inside. So what the other wormhole on the archive?
Yeah. So what would you do?
The other wormhole on the inside of there.
I think you get the Enigma on one of the centrals for sure. He's still trying to break the wormhole on HQ. That's dumb. It's so expensive.
That's a batty.
Get
you
the
really
Enigma
need to
there.
end the run out there.
The Enigma's super cheap to break. So you put the wormhole on the inside. Yes.
Enigma onto an R&D. So you can say more makers in there.
Enigma onto HQ. Like you could just put all the code gates. He's going to move the Crick and the Swordsman.
Right.
Not sure why. Whatever. I mean, he can't break the Swordsman, but
I'd put the Swordsman on the put the Swordsman on the remote.
I think maybe he thinks he's going to run HQ more than R&D at this point. So he's like, I can break that, and I can't break the Swordsman.
Get the Enigma off.
So instead, okay, he's putting the Enigma over there.
Swordsman on the remote, Enigma on the central. That's definitely the right decision.
I'd put the Enigma on the outside though. I mean, like Asteroid, he can break Asteroid Belt, but it's expensive. I'd put the, I don't know. I think I'd
because
put
Copycat's thing. So Copycat you can use as much as you like, right? Can you?
I feel like if he's going to run HQ, he wants to make HQ as cheap as possible. So if he's got, okay, he's going to leave it there. He's got the Enigma on the central, so that's good enough. I'm not going to criticise him.
It's the trash Copycat.
Yeah, it's trash.
Is
It's one use. Oh, it's one use, Jerry. It's one use.
There's Hogseye Grid, that's fine.
So there's a Hogseye. So okay, he's going to lose a card. Is it I've had worse? No, it's not. Okay, alright.
That's more influence.
He's going to access cards. It's fetal. Oh, alright, so
He has 2 money.
He's going to take. Yeah, he does. He can afford it.
Scored some points.
He does. He's on 3 points now, so he's going to take 2 net, including an I've had worse, which draws like his 1 card that he had left.
Right.
And does he trash Hogseye? I mean, you do, right? Like, you're getting decked. You are going to get decked out. There's a limited number. Yeah.
Maybe. But also, I don't think that's where he wins now, because he's also out of Copycats, right? So I think he's not going to win by getting in there. He's going to win by...
I think he can win by just picking him out of HQ or R&D. He's got no multi-access.
If he was on 5 points, because he can run through that server, take 1 net damage, lose some programs and access.
He could same on Makers, maybe?
Yeah, take it.
I think same old makes a good shout. And he can get into the
But that's
the
it.
remote
That's
once
your lot,
more.
right?
Once he can get into the remote once more, lose his whole rig to get in.
He's got no... Oh, he could just run in. Yeah, sure. Well, no, he can't, because I think we're inside the wormhole. So I can end the run.
Oh, it's a wormhole.
Yeah.
It's not an nebula.
No, it has to be a wormhole, right?
They all look the same.
Oh, no, they do. They really do. It's really annoying. Yeah.
It's really important what they are. Why isn't there a graphic with arrows?
Oh, okay, alright, yeah, okay.
This is a wormhole.
Yeah, so we can clarify. The one on the inside of the remote and the outside of HQ are wormholes.
Which is
the one on the outside of the remote and the inside of archives are Nebula.
Which trash program?
The other one,
Centuries.
the other one that does look a bit different is Asteroid Belt on R&D.
That's right. And that ends the run. That ends a barrier.
That is a barrier. He can break a barrier.
Yeah.
He's got breach.
This is hard work.
I know, it is hard work.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
I'm trying to hold it all in my mind and I can't.
Spin string, sure, why not? That's an interesting choice.
Yep, it's going to fire quite often.
He's going to score. Right.
House of Knives.
I reckon House of Knives is one of the worst possible things that could have just happened to Guy.
Yeah.
Because he's only got like 4 cards in hand, so...
So he literally has to score an agenda like on every run now.
Yeah.
He needs to same old makers.
I think same old makers is what you have to do.
Right now. 17 credits, place 12, same old makers. And hope to hell that you score 3 again.
So there's also a card in that remote that was in there with the agenda. So I guess it's a Hogseye or a Batty.
Could be crazy.
There is a Nebula,
He's
so
running
Batty would be
red,
quite
so if
bad.
he's not running Caprices, then he should.
Yeah, you should. I'm going to say that he's not, because it's not very janky, but...
he should be running Caprices.
Yeah, Caprice is a good card.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. So we install double advance. Alright, so that's
Future Perfect.
Future Perfect, it's game. So stuff has
He
to
can get
happen.
it though.
He can get
No,
it,
he
but...
can't. He hasn't got Copycat because it needs to be trashed. It's
Yeah.
a bad card, Jono.
Okay, so he made a mistake, and this is what the mistake he made. He had 2 cards in hand, and he played one of them. Guy, that's not how you win.
Well, no, but he can get in there now.
Yeah, but he's going to get... Best case, he gets 6 points. And he loses his last card, and he can never run again. You don't play... When you're in this position against House of Knives, you don't play cards, you just deal with it. I think Samuel Makers was the right call there. If he had no way of getting stuff back into his hand, there's no levy. Okay, so he's going to Copycat, and he's going to try and get that thing, but Batty's going to fire. And guess what? Yeah, he's got no cards in hand now, so That's a
So
problem.
you could do 1 net damage.
1 minute. So he had 3 cards in hand. He played 1. And
No, he had-
House of Knives took.
He had 2 cards in hand. House of Knives took 1. He played 1. House of Knives took the other, and then he lost the side game. Batty Swordsman.
Dies to a Batty Swordsman.
Yeah, and it wasn't for Puppet.
So it was game. So
It
he
was
had to
game
go
for Gerry, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Oh, that was a bit of a slog.
Yeah.
Okay, right, it's fine, it's over.
Interesting.
But the Jank tournament is quite fun, and
I will come to the next one.
Now, Guy was playing what I would describe as an uncompetitive deck. They both were, but Guy is a master Janksman. he's placed well in both of them with terrible results, but
he plays that
unanimous
sort of
votes.
deck at big tournaments as well, right? So he
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
not
he-
quite
he-
on that
he
level,
made
but
the-
sure, yeah.
I don't know if I can say that. It might be on video, but what does he take to Reading Store Champs?
RP and Chaos Theory.
RP and Chaos.
Is that? I think it was a fairly reasonable RP. I actually don't know what was in the Chaos Theory.
Sure.
Yeah, it was quite. So now, I only got him on camera once. I recorded both of his games. The other game was not very good with his PE deck, but I would love to explain what it did because it was an amazing strategy.
Explain to me what it did.
Sure. So it's personal evolution, and the plan was that. So the plan was, and he was unashamed about this. He was going to kill you with a June bug. Okay. So the plan was to moosh in a June bug. He would tell the runner it was a June bug. He would say, "On my honour, this is a June bug. Don't run it." He didn't want them to run it. At the very first opportunity, which was his following turn, he would res it to prove it was a June bug, and he said, "I'm going to kill you with this June bug." And then
You, sir, are going to die.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to happen. This June bug.
Yeah, this June bug is going to kill you. And he would use a combination of bullfrogs and whirlpools and stuff to force the runner to run on that June bug. And that was the plan of his deck. And it was hilarious. Terrible, but hilarious.
I love that. It's like, please don't run it because then
Yeah,
this won't
don't-
work. Because
yeah.
I'll win too early. I don't want to win prematurely.
Hilariously, the way Gerry solved that problem was he ran it. he ran it.
Yeah.
And he said, and there was a crowd watching actually. And
God was like, it's a June bug.
He said it's a June bug, and everyone said it's a June bug. And he said, I know, but he's put it there for a reason. I don't want to find out what that reason is. So, yeah.
He drew up and ran it.
Yeah, he drew and just took it to the face.
Oh,
'Cause
right. He didn't die.
Yeah,
I
he
thought-
didn't.
I thought-
No,
I
he
thought
didn't
the
die.
guy was lying.
No,
Yeah,
he didn't die.
yeah.
He just didn't want it on the table because he had no idea what was going on, and he thought something weird's going on.
So the
I've
guy's
got to stop
mistake
it.
was saying this is a June bug.
Yeah.
If he hadn't done that, he would have just thought it was a bluff.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But
Interesting.
he finding out it was a June bug. He said something weird is going on here. I'm going to diffuse this the only way I know how. And he just
Draw,
he
run
just,
the June
just
bug.
ran straight into it because the idea is, I guess, that Guy will over advance it, so it has like 5 counters on it, so you will die.
Yeah.
And then and he has a combination of like encrypted. Labyrinthine servers. Labyrinthine servers.
The 5
which is a 5/3 Jinteki agenda.
Yeah.
That gains 1 or 2, I think it's 2 power counters that you can spend to prevent the runner jacking out, which is hilarious.
Yeah. It's also really funny when you have Nisei in faction, which is a 4 for 2, much better than a 5 for 3, and ends
Yeah.
the run much more useful than not letting them jack out.
And he had Bullfrog for moving on to the Jewbug. I think he also used Batty. If the Bullfrog failed, I think he could Batty to fire Bullfrog.
Right.
So he gets
Of course, because, ice not infallible.
Yeah, because they might break it or something. Hilarious. Anyway, and it was a fun day. It was a fun day.
And he did quite well.
No, both of his decks did really badly, but he got a lot of votes from his competitors for the hilarious plan
He got
strategy.
a lot of, well done points.
Yeah. So that's the Jank tournament, and it's a nice format. We should do one again. I'm not sure when. I don't know. After all the tournament season is over.
Sometime
there's a break.
maybe just before regionals or I don't know.
Yeah, after
we'll
regionals
sort
before that, so there's a bit of a gap now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Whew, so we'll work it out. So our next video has been edited. The next tournament we're going to feature is going to be the Intercity Friendly that took place in Edinburgh. So Quins of internet fame ran a team tournament in London last year sometime, and it was pretty successful. It was a four-player team format where each player had to play different factions, and the mini factions had to be represented.
No.
Was that true at the first one?
No.
That wasn't true at the first one because
They
weren't
weren't
out.
a thing.
They weren't out.
Yeah.
So
You could repeat it.
all the different factions had to be represented. Edinburgh won, and with it, they won the right to host the next one. So we went to Edinburgh. Strangely, there was a lot less interest in a trip to Edinburgh than a trip to London from Reading.
Yeah. For those of you who, I suppose, only people who are not in the UK, like Edinburgh's a long way away. Edinburgh's in Scotland.
It's the
London's
north.
like 20 miles from us.
Yeah.
Edinburgh is more like 450 miles. Which
don't
might
know.
not sound a lot.
It's the distant north, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's very north.
Anyway, but we did send a team. We sent a combined Redox team from the Reading and Oxford Metas, and it was good fun.
You went. I went.
Go on.
A lot of people involved in this video went.
That's true. Yeah.
So did Pete.
So did Pete. He was the other, he was the fourth leg of our table. I don't know where. Of our Redox table. So we went up to Edinburgh, and it was good fun. And we're going to cover some of those games now. So for this one, unlike the previous one, then the miniature factions, the mini factions did have to be represented.
Yeah. So 1/4 of the field was playing mini factions.
Yeah, that's right. And they all hated it. I don't think I saw anyone play mini factions.
There was 1/4 of the people there were grumpy all weekend.
Yeah, they were like,
what's wrong with you? I drew a mini faction. Yeah,
I've got to play Adam.
Yeah,
because they did play Adam.
They all played Adam.
There was like
there was
one
an Apex, and 2
Apex.
Sunny, I think.
Okay, right.
And like 14 Adam or something.
14, yeah. But it was good fun. Anyway, we'll get onto that when we're actually doing those videos. We got split into pods, so we didn't play people from our own team, and we played against each other and combined our scores basically.
Yeah. So not the King of Service format, a different format.
No, it was a different format from the King of Servers. Yeah. It was good fun. It was good fun. The first video was, off the top of my head, Seamus of Edinburgh. So Edinburgh are hosting it. Seamus is a pillar of the Edinburgh community, probably. And he was playing against Dan Burgell from London, Team London.
We were happy with Team London because if they won,
there were a couple of teams in the south.
London.
Yeah, we had there were Redox and London and Bristol were the 3 teams in the south, and all of us were happy if any of us won it.
I had a lot of faith on Birmingham winning and bringing it down near-ish to us.
Yeah, they didn't go.
They didn't go.
Yeah,
strong team missed out.
In Yorkshire. Sure.
Even Yorkshire would have been better.
Yeah.
Than Edinburgh. But.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's good. So, I'm looking forward to those videos. It should be fun. Also, we'll get the meta kind of up to date as well, because we'll get Data and Destiny.
Well, Data and Destiny be in, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, I'd like to remind you that should you want to watch any more of our videos, you can do so at the website, nearrunningGrid.co.uk. And you can also find us on Twitter and on Facebook. And you can also find us on Patreon to give us some of that hard-earned dollar that makes these videos so good. Thank you, Joey.
That was very fast. Yeah.
It always is.
Okay, right.
Thank you, Joey, for helping me commentate this video and these last few videos. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.